my cellume, one of my fiddle leaf figs, and then this little plant that I got from a seller on Etsy are all outside for the summer. They joined my ruby necklace outside, and this plant is doing much better. It's blooming out here. And also, I think this is a string of like teardrops or raindrops, I can't remember, but it's also getting ready to bloom, and it's super happy being outside as well. It is getting very warm here. The hydrangea are letting their buds out. They'll be flowering probably within the next month. And things like my herbs, my chocolate mint are coming back. I grow some basil from seed. I actually grew a lot of things from seed in March and through April. So this is back in late March. I started things out in Dixie cups. Within a couple weeks, my radishes really had come up. This is a zucchini that's getting ready to come up. And these are some spring onions, and that is the basil plant right there when it's just developing. So I kept these indoors. They started stretching though pretty early, and it can be kind of hard to correct once you let it go. So I waited until they had their starter leaves kind of developed, and then I moved them outside pretty quickly. And so these are the radishes. Here is, I believe that's a cucumber, and then that's a zucchini. And I've had to move things around a few times. My beds are raised. I don't have a ton of room. And I got a lot of these into the ground right before we had a pretty big series of storms. And I mean like pounding raindrops that would definitely damage these plants. So my food safe recyclables that I keep around the house, I use them for a lot of different plant things. I came out here in the pouring rain in the middle of the night when I heard it on the roof, and I brought out all of these recyclables I had, and I just covered up my plants, and it worked really well. And so, keeping that stuff around, it comes in handy sometimes. Here's the zucchini today, though. Everything's really going. These are the green onion. And yeah, things are really starting to grow. These are my cucumber plants, and they're getting started. So it was really fun just to grow things from seed. Do you see how close these need to be separated? My red echeveria, my velvet hybrid, also bloomed. Some of my succulents stay outside all year. If they make it, they make it. If you remember, I went to IKEA and I picked up some plant shelves for my disastrous plant room. We'll talk about that later. It is a magnificent disaster in there. I saw these pots and I was really taken with them. I filmed quite a few different sizes, and at the time I was really hemming and hawing, but I already had glass shelves in the car, and I was afraid to just add to what I was already doing. It was late at night. I came home and I ended up ordering some, and then it took me 2 months to get it. So as my garden was growing, I'm waiting for these pots to arrive. And I pulled the first one out and it looked pretty good, 7.5-inch pot. And so what I have now in my 6-inch pot will be able to move over into these for the plants that that aren't as fast growing. But then some of my other pots, look at this. Look at this. This was gut-wrenching because, again, I was waiting 2 months for these pots, and to see them so poorly packaged and shipping to the point where pretty much anyone that was in the bottom was shattered or broken. And also, I was really counting, of course, on getting the pots. I have an inspector, though, who comes in, looks at planters, makes sure that everything's okay. She gave it the thumbs up or the paws up, so I can keep them. But yeah, it was fun to grow a garden. It was fun to get my pots. I'm gonna have to, I conveniently forgot they don't have drainage holes, and I don't have nursery pots to use them as cover pots, but I do have a drill bit for ceramic, and I will be drilling drainage holes. That's something that I've had to do quite a bit in the past. And so I'll be busy with these pots, figuring out what can go in them and getting them prepped. I'm also prepping older pots that I'll recycle. So these are other pots that I've had, and they're in a bleach water mixture. Remember the beautiful disaster that I told you about, my plant room? Yeah, there are plants back out here on the shelf that I was gonna refinish this spring, and it's not getting refinished because, again, the plant room is a magnificent disaster. So I'll show you a video about that. We'll talk. I'll show you what I'm gonna do with it. Also, I wanted to check in and show you what happened with some of the new growth on my Calathea picturata argentea. I've been treating it for spider mites, and It had some stunted, messed up growth that you can see down there, that one leaf. But take a look at the other new growth that's coming in. It looks healthy, it looks normal, it's fine. I did find one more leaf that had a spider mite infection, took it out, treated it. We'll stay vigilant. I also did a late night Etsy plant buy that I didn't remember. This is a mystery unboxing. I had no idea what this was. I think it shipped upside down. I think it was just being held upside down, and then I opened it upside down. And so there was potting soil everywhere, and I was like, oh my gosh, I bought a string of hearts. Oh, that's right. I put up my vining plants into these kind of floating planter hangers, and I wanted some more visually interesting sort of vertical plants. And so I got a string of hearts, and I'm looking at it like, what did I do? Do I know anything about this plant? I don't. What was I thinking? Do not buy, or at least for me, do not buy plants late at night on Etsy. You will not remember what you've done. You will not know what to do with the plant when you get it. You will just stand there and, sadly untangle its beautiful tendrils. I do not regret this plant at all. I just wish I had prepared myself more to be ready to take care of it. I had a little casualty here, which was actually kind of cool because I was able to really take a look at the root system. I'm very unfamiliar with the plant, and I hate when I impulse buy plants that I don't know enough about. That's how I started out with all of these calatheas, and if I knew I don't know. I bought another calathea. I can't really say anything. I will show it to you in another video. I'm also going to do a calathea Q&A. I've had a ton of questions that have been super interesting and made me really think and understand that I haven't explained some things very well about calatheas in my video. And I'm not an expert, but I'm more than willing to share what I've learned or what I've researched. So we'll do that. We'll talk. I'm going to move this Rosie, I think, into a white pot. And this Ruthie Barba, which you did not see in the Calathea collection, will also probably go into a white pot. And again, so we'll have a video about that. We'll also do a video about what does my plant room look like and what should it look like? What am I going to do? And what do those changes mean? So thanks for hanging out with me. This has been my March and April planty vlog thing. So I hope that you're doing well, and until next time, be well and take care.